So The Fire Inside is a film from first-time filmmaker Rachel Morrison, who is most known for her work as a cinematographer, and has a script from Barry Jenkins, who is most known for his work in Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk. This film tells the story of Claressa Shields, a boxer from Flint, Michigan, who trains and becomes the U.S.'s first woman to win the gold medal in boxing. I didn't know anything about this story, and what took me the most was Rachel Morrison's work as a director. She draws you in and invests you very quickly in the community within Flint, Michigan, and they're rallying behind Claressa as she trains and gets even closer to that gold medal, and really has a knack for sitting with these characters through the highs and the lows. I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute, but she is so great with characters and the places that they're in, particularly Flint, Michigan. Flint even feels like a character itself within this film. It visually looks great as well. Now, this is definitely due to her past work as a cinematographer. Visually, throughout this film, looks great. And she does a great job at making each boxing sequence feel just a little bit different. They never feel repetitive. Each one has just a different style to it. The camera work feels different on a couple occasions, and so it's not just going through the motions with each boxing sequence. And the main one that is in the film, obviously taking place in the Olympics, was by far the most intense of them all, and it is directed as such. Now, for the script from Barry Jenkins, as you would expect from Jenkins, he digs into these characters quite a bit, particularly in the third act, post-Olympics, which is something that I will talk about a little bit more here later in this review. But he works to find the core and the desire and the emotion of these characters, and much like Morrison as a director, he invests you in these characters, their relationships, their struggles, and with his script and her direction, this film really envelops you and draws you in and makes it really easy to root for these characters as they go on these journeys. Jenkins and Morrison also really helped this film avoid a lot of the typical sports genre story beats. There are a couple, but they are necessary. You have the high moment in the athlete's career and the low moments, and you see them work through all of that and achieve those goals and struggle along the way. But honestly, these are just things that are required in a sports movie. You can't get from entry level to Olympic winning athlete without some struggles along the way. So a couple of the conversations are ones that you've heard before in other sports dramas, but again, for the most part, I was impressed at how this film avoids a lot of the other cliches that you would come to expect from a sports drama. Ryan Destiny as Claressa Shields, I didn't recognize her from anything, but this performance from her is excellent. It highlights the strengths of Claressa and the resilience, and she gives a commanding and layered emotional performance, while her co-star, Brian Tyree Henry, gives what I think is his best performance of his career, and he really is able to make you feel his commitment and his ambition and his drive to help Claressa in her situation and in her career. And in the third act particularly is where a lot of the emotion with these characters comes into play. I'm not going to give too much away, but after the Olympics, life goes back to normal, and it's not exactly what Claressa thought it would be, and she puts a lot of that expectation, that failed expectation, on Brian Tyree Henry's character, and the two start to butt heads as life gets back to normal and the hardships that were there before come back into play. They all take a back seat, when she's accomplishing all of these goals and working towards the Olympics. Life seems definitely on that upward trend, and all of these problems that they introduce in Act 1 kind of take a back seat. But once all of the Olympics are over and life gets back to, life, all of these problems come back. And the way that the script and the direction and the performance handle this made Act 3, I think, my favorite. It slows down and digs into these characters after the pinnacle moment and what happens after. And it examines the role of gender in sports, the harsh reality that Claressa went through after winning the gold medal and thinking that she would be able to solve all of her problems with money, and the fame that would come along with it would just kind of solve everything. And the film really takes a look at that, and her relationship with her coach and her trainer really feel at their strongest in this third act, which I was really impressed by. This is definitely a crowd-pleasing film. There is something for everybody. It has great character. It has heart. The boxing moments are exciting. This is just an all-around well-made movie. I cannot recommend this one enough. It comes out this Christmas. Go watch it. There are a lot of great options coming out over the next week. Make sure you add this one to your list. I really, really enjoyed this one. I was quite impressed by it. So, have you seen The Fire Inside? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this, and as always, I will see you in the next one.